Hey, what's up, everyone? I am in one of my storage rooms, and I came across. I'm actually looking for a TV of mine. Well, not mine, a spare old TV that still works. My old one just went out, and I knew we had a spare one, and I know this one works. So I came back to the storage room, dusting it off, when I found a bag full. See, it works. Nice. I can't tell if it has volume yet until I hook something up, because it won't give me static. Jesus. See, it won't go. I can't hear any volume. But hopefully it works. But anyways, that's not what I came to show you. What I came to show you was what I found in one of my bags. I was really excited. I found something else, but I'm going to show you that in my room, because I don't want to get them dirty here. But I just wanted to show you the figures that I found in one of the bags that I was going through. And these are some of my old figures. Hordak, He-Man. This is Sid Justice. I know someone out there to remember his name. This is, I believe this was the Boss Man. No, this isn't the Boss Man. I don't remember who that is. This is my favorite Skeletor. He-Man would punch him in the chest, and then his, it doesn't work anymore. It used to snap. Hold down on the, oh, there it is. And then you punch him. There, damage. And then there was another double damage. That was huge back in the day. And then, of course, a couple. Oh, there goes the British Bulldog. Guys, remember British Bulldog? Nice. And a couple G.I. Joes. I'm sure someone out there remembers who these guys are. And one that just fell. This was from the Rock Lords. From GoBot. It's like a GoBot spin-off. And this was the Rock Lord's leader. Can't remember his name, but he turned into a boulder. But I'm going to go ahead and show you the other stuff that I found that is really cool. Just really nostalgic for me, and I just wanted to share. So I'll be right back. Sadly, the TV did not work. The audio did not come on. I plugged in my Sega Master System to it, and it did not work. So I will be going to a garage sale tomorrow morning. It's a church garage sale, and they usually have those type of things there, old TVs, whatnot. So I'm going to try and pick one up there. I'm going to set my limit at $10. Hopefully I can pick up a good TV for $10. And if I do pick one up, the first people that will know are the people that are joined on my Facebook. So if you're not on my Facebook, you won't have the 411 if I picked one up or not. So head on over to my Facebook, hit that like button, and join the fun. I wanted to share with you what I found other than those figures. Those figures were pretty badass. I brought them back to my room and stored them with the others, and they are safely tucked away, never to collect dust again. And I also, by pulling out some of the boxes marked my name, I saw my name on some of them, and I'm like, what is in here? And it's some of my old drawings, everyone. I don't know if you guys, if I've ever mentioned it before, but I am, I don't want to call myself an artist. I just can draw. That's more like it. I've just something I've always done since I was a little kid. I've always been able to just sketch, and no one's ever taught me. It's just something you kind of do. And what I used to do is I used to mimic a lot of the stuff that was around me that I would find. Case in point, I found one of my old school folders, and oddly enough, a lot of the things that I used to draw were Garfield, a lot of cartoon characters, anything I can get my hands on that had a cartoon on it. I pretty much snatched it up, and I just replicated the picture. I would draw Garfield's face until I just remembered it by memory. And whenever I would get a piece of paper, I would just like to just by memory draw Garfield. That's just kind of how I always was. I just to like to draw, just to doodle. That was just my childhood. So I've never shown really anybody this stack of drawings before, and kind of nervous to show everyone of my childhood. But hey, you see everything else about me. Why not this? So let's just go ahead and delve right into it. I'm not going to go into too much detail because there's a lot of them in there, and I've got more. I'm just not going to show you all of them, mainly because there's just too damn many. So I just plucked out the good ones, and let's get just right to them. Okay, first I want to show you the inside of this folder that I used to use as a kid. This is so cool. This is the stuff I used to draw. It was perfect for a kid to learn how to draw just by mimicking this, because the lines were just really easy to mimic, and they were just big, and there wasn't too much detail for a kid to draw. And this is where I kind of learned just by drawing these really thick lines. And what I kept in here was really cool, because this is the stuff. This is what I used to do back in the day. I used to see newspaper clippings, or I used to watch. My dad used to always buy the newspaper, and I'd always go through the newspaper just to see if I can see any kind of cartoons that I can draw. So when I'd see something I'd want to draw, I'd just rip it out, and I'd pull out stuff like this, like, ooh, I'm going to draw Sonic the Hedgehog. So I'd rip off the Sonic the Hedgehog piece from the newspaper, and it'd be like this, which is really cool. So I would just draw stuff off of stuff like this, and I would keep this stuff just to have the picture to draw for future references. And in case in point, this is exactly what I'm talking about. I saw Garfield in the newspaper, I ripped it out. I remember doing this as a kid. Oh my god, this was crazy. So, yeah, like I said, you'll see a lot of Garfield pictures in here because I used to love to draw Garfield. You are going to trip on this one, everyone. This one is a clipping that I took off because I wanted my dad to buy me this for a Christmas present. We already had the Super Nintendo, and my dad saw no purpose in buying this, even though I ripped this off and put it in his bed, put it in his car before he left to work. I put it in everything I possibly could. I would just recycle the same advertisement to get this, and it didn't work. But I still kept the advertisement after so long, and this is what it was. It was for a Sega Genesis that if you bought the Sega Genesis, it came with a Sonic the Hedgehog. But it came with a special deal that if you bought this system with the Sonic, you could mail in, I guess, the receipt or something, and they'd send you the Sonic 2 game in the mail. And I tried to sell my dad this. I said, Dad, you get a free game! Dad, free game! What part don't you understand? This is all he understood, is that. That's what my dad understood. I just saw this, free game, when you get this, and my dad saw this, and he was like, yeah, you can keep trying, kid. So needless to say, I never got a Sega Genesis growing up. But I did have the Super Nintendo, and I was happy with that. Just by looking at this cover just tells you how much of the years have taken a toll on this folder. This folder represents pretty much the gist of my childhood from age 10 and under, pretty much. So I'm going to show you really fast as I possibly can, to go through almost all this stuff, because this stuff is really cool, and I really want to show you everything, and just take you back into a little slice of pie into my childhood. So let's just delve right in. I used to be really hardcore into Looney Tunes and all kinds of Acme cartoons. I loved them all. I drew this when I was like in first grade. Here is a Raf bio I drew. I used to be hardcore into markers, so a lot of these are going to be pretty messed up. And it was all trial and error. A half-finished Raf I never finished. Casey Jones, oh yeah. Bebop. This shows perfectly how I used to just draw with whatever I had. I didn't use a lot of colored crayons because I didn't have any. I used to deal with markers a lot, and this picture shows a good example of when markers go good. This Raf looks a little bit more sophisticated because back when I started drawing this one, the turtles were getting more sophisticated. These were in the later years, and the artwork for them started coming out more and more graphic novel-y, and that's when I started copying the same. A Donatello bio I did on him. Here's another Bebop. A Usagi Yojimbo. He was actually one of my favorite characters. A stupid Mondo Gecko. I never liked this guy. A awesome Leonardo. I remember taking this off of a the carrying case for the figures. This was on the case. This is where I remember drawing it off of there. A Leo bio I did. A Mikey bio I did. I remember copying this off of the Double Dragon box that I got for Christmas for my Game Boy. Same with this one. This was Samus. I remember getting Metroid 2 and Double Dragon for Christmas with my Game Boy, and this was on the box, or the poster. And I drew this from the poster. Merca! Again, a perfect example of just me collecting stuff that has them characters on it for me to draw. One of my all-time favorite drawings. This one took me a while. But when I got it down, people were so impressed when I finished drawing this because I was a kid. A lot of homework didn't get turned in because of me doing this kind of drawings. This is the kind of figure it looks like off of the cardboard on the back of the figures that you get, and more geared towards, like, I believe the graphic or the comic books when they came out. Here's a Garfield I remember drawing. I remember really being into Nikes and Adidas, and I would just put that stuff everywhere. I'm Batman. I'm not even shitting you. I went through 2 pens just trying to fill in Marge's hair. I used to be a pro. I'm not even kidding you. A pro at drawing Bart. Here's a Daffy Duck Pirate edition. A Pirates of the Caribbean edition. I copied this character off of a T-Shirt my dad bought at a flea market. I don't know what it is. Same with this one. I had a T-Shirt that had this character on it. I don't know where it's from. Being from Chicago, the rivalry was there in the early 90s when the Lakers were playing the Bulls for the championship, and I drew this in retaliation for that year that they were playing them in. I was in like first grade drawing this stuff. That's Big Mike, by the way. I remember coming up with versions of my own Batwing. And I remember copying this off of a little card. I believe it was one of those cards that come out of those stickers. And this was one of the cards that were in there. And I remember drawing that card. Perfect example of me messing up something with marker. I used to draw Bart in literally less than a minute. I got so good at drawing with a marker that I didn't even need to do it anymore with pencil. I could just do it off a marker. My all-time favorite character, Bugs Bunny. And his arch nemesis, Yosemite Sam. I just want to point out that I drew all those coins in the toy chest by hand. I remember doing that. This was out of the manual for Street Fighter 2 and the Super Nintendo. I remember using that as a point of reference to draw Ryu doing a Hayuken or Hadouken. Yoga Flame! We all know we don't know what he's saying when he's doing that spin kick, that bite. Hayuken! And that concludes my years from 10 and under. So we're going to move on to my teenage years, and I'm going to show you that next. This beat up book something or another represents my teenage years. As you saw at the very first picture there, I used to be really hardcore into comics. I loved comic books, I loved comic cards, trading cards, you name it. I loved to get my hands on it because of the way everything was drawn. I wanted to step up my game, and comic books gave me a way to do that. Just the art, just the way the art was drawn, it just fascinated me. So I always wanted to step up my drawing game by getting as many comic books as I can and trading cards so that I can start drawing the comics. So, and a lot of these are based out of comic books that I've read and trading cards that I've collected over the years. So let's get started. First one, right off the bat, it's Wolverine. This one was my favorite. I keep them in plastics because these are like some of my more favorite ones, and I like to protect these because I don't think I could ever go back to drawing this way, mainly because of the patience. I remember drawing this off of a Youngblood comic book. This is Polaris, and I remember drawing this off of one of those what do you call those, the cards, the trading cards. This guy is, I believe, Strong Guy from X Factor, and again I grabbed this off of one of the trading cards. This is Phoenix, and again I believe I grabbed this off of one of the trading cards that I had. This was off of a T-Shirt. I think I remember grabbing it off of. I was really into graffiti, and I remember just being attracted to this art form. And my first stab at coloring pencils. Before this, I didn't really like to color. I didn't like to use color. I didn't know how to color, but I took a stab at it, and I bought myself some colored crayons, some colored pencils, and it didn't come out that bad. This is White Queen. I don't know if you remember her. I know she's in red. I colored her red just for contrast because it just looked like it needed color. And I did it justice by giving it color, trust me. But she's White Queen. This took me a really, really, really long time to do because of all the detail, of all the little stuff involved in drawing this. But this was off of the cover from the 30th anniversary edition of Spider-Man vs. Venom. This Hulk I drew behind my homework. It was my homework that I used. I never turned in that homework because my friend gave me this trading card in school, and when I saw the picture of Hulk, I had to draw him right away. So that's why I picked up this, or that's why I drew it behind my homework and never turned it in. Good excuse not to turn in your homework, though. And that concludes some of the stuff that I did during my teenage years. And now we're going to move on to when my early 20s. I picked up this sketchbook when I was 19, going on into 20, and I used to get I further advanced my sketching skills by buying this book and just by copying faces off of like CD covers, whatnot, and I just slowly started learning how to draw faces that way. And the first couple of pages represents that. See, I started drawing a little better. I started using these pencils out of hobby shops, art shops. Little did I know that they don't really rub too good. But this is after this book is really old, and I used to autograph them too. Well, not autograph them, but just sign them. See my name and the year, Rich 99. This was a long time ago, people. This was 14 years ago I drew this, and I was 20 years old when I drew this. I haven't drawn in a very, very long time, and this stuff reminds me of back when I used to just actually sit there and draw this stuff. I don't remember. I think it's Ricky Martin. Oh no! This is one I never finished. This is a Guns N' Roses CD cover. I remember. I never got to finish it, but you could see if you. I don't remember which cover it is, but this is off of one of their covers. I got this one off of a computer game box, I believe. I added my own twist to it, but I got the gist of it from the back of some computer PC game, which I cannot remember. An unfinished version of my version of what crossroads mean to me. If you don't know who these people are or what the cover I got this off of, you're pretty much stupid. This was my attempt at using chalk, everyone, and it still remains on the page. See that? I drew this a long time. When did I draw this? I drew this in 01. I drew this in 01, and this is 12 years later, and the chalk pencil is still coming off of it. This is something I dreamt, and I had to draw it as soon as I woke up. Don't ask me what I was thinking when I made this, but I don't know where it came from. I don't know what the inspiration was for it. I just remember feeling compelled to do something like this, and this is what it came out to. Again, I was trying to use my new pencils and just making a way of combining my pencils, pens, and my new chalk pen. And this is what I came up with. And not to mention, I was feeling like this one day. This one is my all-time favorite. It took me like on and off about a week to draw. But this is basically how I felt the time that I was drawing this. So it's a good way to capture one's feeling when you're able to draw something like this. Like I said, I was in a dark place when in my early 20s, and it reflects on what I was drawing. I used to play a lot of Vice City back then. And I drew the hair. You could still see all the pen that I used. I used like 2 pens just to fill in all her hair. You could see the strokes. This is my unfinished Aaliyah. I don't know why I never finished her. And this was right around the time she died, and I just couldn't bring myself to finishing it. This one took a very, very long time to finish because of all the intricate little details involved in it. But I remember grabbing this one off of a comic book that I was reading. I don't even remember which one, but I just remember having a lot of fun with this one. And lastly, here is my attempt at some graffiti that I used to do back in the day. It says Mexico Lindo, If you can't read it, now that I've said it, you could probably look at what it says now after I've said it. You could probably make out the letters. But yeah, that's it, everyone. This is my last one on the page of my sketchbook. I'm really happy to have shared what I found in my storage room with you guys. If you like it, thank you guys so much. If you don't, well, I'm really sorry that my memories didn't put a smile on your face, but oh well. And I'm always happy to share with you guys. Thank you guys for taking the time to share this experience back with me. I hope this brought back some memories for you guys. As always, thanks again for watching. Until the next one, everyone. Peace out.